She could change the running world forever, and her name is Parker Valby. Now, the Paris Olympics was filled with great runners that all trained incredibly hard to get there, but I think there may be no one with a more unique training situation than Parker Valby. For those of you who don't know, Valby has taken the NCAA running world by storm over the past year, as after a 5K victory at 2023 Outdoor Nationals, she then proceeded to just dominate every race she's been in, winning huge cross-country meets like Nutty Comb and Cross Country Nationals, following that up with a 3K, 5K double at Indoor Track Nationals, plus a 5K, 10K double at Outdoor Track Nats, and her season just kept going. With super impressive performances against the best pros in both the 5K and the 10K, the latter race, she outkicked season pro Carisha Schweitzer for her second. All that goes to show you just how epic Valby's season has been. The last year for her has truly been incredible from a results perspective alone. But what's more interesting about Valby, aside from her funny interviews?
I shouldn't be telling you this, but I don't really drink water. Like, I don't hydrate very well. And I drink kombucha at least 3 a day. I did have kombucha, but I didn't sleep much. I slept probably the whole hour last night.
Is, well, how she trains. You see, Valby doesn't train like most runners. Compared to other women that Valby lined up with in the 10,000 meters at the Paris Olympic Games, there is almost no chance her competitors can match her in two aspects. One, run as few miles as she has in training, and two, spend as much time on the elliptical as she has in training. To explain that further, Valby does not run very much. She's absolutely known for that and pretty transparent about it. Instead, Valby spends much of her time training on a special elliptical called the Arc Trainer. And if you never heard of this elliptical before, I'd highly suggest looking for somewhere that has it and use it, because it does seem to work muscles in a more running-like way than a traditional elliptical. But anyways, Valby spends a lot of time on the elliptical and only runs over real ground just a few times a week. Yet here she is, running at the highest level of the sport against the best in the world in the longest distance race there is on the track, the 10,000 meters. I think that overall, a lot of people are perplexed by how Valby has accomplished something like this. But I also think it brings up a very unique situation with training, and also how effective a training system like Valby has is. The thing is, elliptical training is aerobic work. When you're running distance races, they are aerobic events. Any activity that raises your heart rate for a long period of time in the anaerobic zone, not too high, but not too low, will train your aerobic system and help you become better at endurance events. In fact, most races above the 800 meters are highly aerobic in nature, which is why you see even more strength-based runners like Jakob Ingebrigtsen excel over events like the 1500. However, the use of machines like the Arc Trainer have not been commonly used in a way this extensively to replace mileage. I think one reason why is runners simply enjoy running every day, and the elliptical is, well, for lack of a better word, usually extremely boring. But Valby turned to this form of training in order to mitigate injury risks. She's a highly injury-prone runner that isn't able to run very high mileage with all the impact over real ground in a sustainable manner. Instead, she turns to low-impact arc training on the elliptical, and that is what runners will call a form of cross-training, basically doing other aerobic activities besides running. However, Valby doesn't just use these activities to supplement her training. She uses them as the basis for her training. So I think that does bring up the question, Could this be a way for runners to succeed in the future, particularly if they're injury prone? Just how far can cross training take a runner, and just how good can they get? I think we've seen it succeed with other runners like Natalie Cook, who's a runner known for running very little mileage, but no one has quite succeeded with training like this in the way Parker Valby has. Dominance on the collegiate level and a respectable finish on the Olympic level. Another question to ask is if training increases or limits Valby's potential. On one hand, the elliptical arc trainer allows her to stay injury free, and with Parker Valby, injuries can certainly derail her training. It happened in early 2023 as she battled a huge issue with her leg. At times, it was tough to watch her even run because you could see how badly the injury affected her. But the thing is, even if the art trainer is sustainable, there could be some point where the aerobic gains on an elliptical are simply maxed out. After all, a lot of training experts believe the best way to develop running economy is to, well, just run and run some more. And Valby may eventually reach the limit on her elliptical training and may be forced to incorporate more mileage to get to the next level. I think this is also true for the distances she races. She seems to be more of a strength-based runner without super lightning quick speed, someone that will, I think, eventually excel pretty well at the marathon. But that's a distance known for needing real mileage, and a lot of it to be successful at. All that being said, and there's a lot more that one can think about with Valby's training, I don't think we need to put limits on what Valby can achieve, even with her unorthodox approach. I mean, if you told me in 2022, after she lost to Caitlin Tui at Cross Country Nationals, that she would be running at the Paris Olympics in 2024, I probably wouldn't have believed you. And Valby is so young, her potential, regardless of her training regimen, is something that a lot of people should be excited about. I do think joining a professional group and training as a pro with the best facilities for recovery and injury prevention could unlock a new potential for her, and she could be one of the most exciting American runners to watch come LA 2028. But I'm also sure she will give us fans a lot more great performances on the track before then. It's hard not to root for Valby. She's off the beaten path. She clearly loves running, and she seems to have a whole lot of fun with this sport. Now, if you enjoy breakdowns of athletics like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button and check out other content on this channel. Plenty of interesting stories to talk about in the world of this sport. See you in the next one.